Hey everyone, Lara here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be comparing two language learning apps, Jumpspeak and Rocket. They are both really popular but different language learning programs, so today I'm going to share my thoughts on them after using them both. I signed up for the paid versions for both programs and spent the last few weeks going through the lessons. I'll compare both programs, including a course overview, pricing, and advantages each has over the other, before ultimately giving a final verdict, letting you know which one I think is better. And if you find you need more detail at any point, you can always check out other Jumpspeak comparisons on our website. An easy way to get there is to just Google Test Prep Insight Jumpspeak. That's the quickest way to find it. All right, now I'm going to start with a summary of each course structure so you understand how each one works. And let's start with Rocket. Big picture, Rocket's program is broken down into 3 levels, with sequential lessons that build on each other in a really structured curriculum. Roughly half of those lessons are interactive audio lessons, and the other half are language and culture lessons. For the interactive audio lessons, you're listening to a 20 to 30 minute audio lesson where a moderator speaking in English guides you through a conversation between native speakers of the target language, frequently stopping to explain what you just heard, provide vocab and grammar, and give you a quick chance to practice your pronunciation out loud. You'll then work through a series of exercises including flashcards, pronunciation practice drills, typing phrases, audio recall exercises, and quizzes that reinforce what you just learned. Overall, you'll typically spend about an hour on each interactive audio lesson from start to finish. Then the other form of lesson is the language and culture lessons, which focus on a few key grammar principles paired with an interesting aspect of the culture. You'll usually read over a few quick grammar tips, practice with a couple of exercises, and finish with a short story illustrating a unique aspect of the culture. These language and culture lessons take about 20 to 30 minutes to complete, if that. Beyond the lessons themselves, Rocket also throws in a survival kit with essential vocabulary for common real-life scenarios, which is a nice bonus. The way I see it is that Rocket's overall program sets you up for long-term language learning success, while the survival kit gives you a quick jumpstart if you need to start using the target language in practical scenarios right away. That's the Rocket German program in a nutshell. Looking at Jumpspeak, they're all about using AI to immerse you in the target language through a combination of structured lessons and free-form conversation. Jumpspeak says that their immersion method is 3.5 times more effective than passive flashcards, which makes sense as you get more out of actively using the language than simply reviewing notes. Jumpspeak provides over 1,000 conversation-based lessons that are much shorter than Rocket lessons. Jumpspeak lessons are divided up into 4 sections: listen, write, speak, and conversation, with each section taking just a few minutes to complete. You start with listen, where you do some multiple choice based on listening to a brief audio clip. Then there's write, where you type in your responses while participating in a text conversation with the AI tutor. Next is speak, where you're listening to short audio clips and repeating them out loud. Each lesson ends with conversation, which has you talking back and forth with the AI tutor. In my opinion, these lessons are pretty standard and along the same lines of what you'd find with most language apps out there. What really sets Jumpspeak apart is their AI conversation feature, which is designed to help you practice listening and speaking by simulating real-life conversations. These mock conversations cover topics such as shopping, health, fitness, and dating. You can answer the AI tutor's questions however you'd like, and the bot responds with a personalized reply. I'll talk about this AI tutor feature in more detail a little later in the video, but for now, these are the basics of what you need to know about Jumpspeak. Now that we've covered a basic program overview, let's get into pricing. While most language apps use a typical monthly subscription model, both Rocket and Jumpspeak use a prepay model where you can put a little more money down upfront. With Jumpspeak, you can choose between a few different options: a 3-month plan for about $70, a 12-month plan for about $100, or a one-time fee of about $270 that gets you lifetime access. They offer a very forgiving 100-day money-back guarantee, which is a much longer trial period than almost anyone else on the market offers, as you essentially have 3 months to request a full refund if you aren't satisfied for any reason. Rocket's money-back guarantee is only good for 60 days, which is still a long trial period, but not quite as long as Jumpspeak's. Getting into the Rocket course cost, Rocket's one-time purchase model means that you can buy access to the course and become a lifetime member. The Level 1 package costs about $150, the Levels 1 and 2 bundle costs about $300, and the big bundle with all 3 levels costs $450, which definitely sounds like a big upfront cost. However, Rocket is almost always running some sort of deal or special promotion, and I usually see their course discounted by 40 to 60%, so be sure to check for coupon codes before buying. I'll do my best to keep the description down below updated with the most current codes and coupons that I can find, so make sure to check out that text below the screen if Rocket or Jumpspeak do end up being the right fit for you. Okay, it's time to look at both companies in a little more detail now and compare where each one wins over the other. First, Rocket. The first highlight I want to mention is Rocket's interactive audio lessons, where you both listen to and participate in conversations between native speakers in ordinary day-to-day scenarios. In my opinion, this mock dialogue is extremely effective for improving both your listening and speaking skills. Jumpspeak also helps you improve your conversation skills with their AI tutor, but they don't provide the same in-depth audio lessons where you're listening to an extended conversation between native speakers to get a feel for how the language works. Overall, Rocket's listening practice is more instructive, whereas I see Jumpspeak's AI conversation tool as more supplementary learning for getting a little extra speaking and listening practice. To me, the conversation lessons make Rocket Languages the right choice for anyone who's planning on spending significant time in another country or who really wants to converse naturally with native speakers of another language. Next, at number 2, I like that Rocket follows each audio lesson up with a diverse set of practice drills to reinforce the material presented in the audio portion of the lesson. These drills give you an opportunity to interact with the new words and phrases you just learned in a variety of ways, which really increases your retention. Jumpspeak, on the other hand, has you repeat the same 4 activities in every lesson, which potentially gets pretty boring rather quickly. My favorite Rocket drills are the simulated conversations. After each audio lesson, you can repeat the conversation, but this time you take the place of one of the native speakers. Using the language under pressure is going to push you to an intermediate level of fluency fairly quickly as you jump into actually participating in fast-moving conversations. The third win for the Rocket program is their speech recognition technology. As you complete the audio lessons and practice drills, you're regularly prompted to participate by speaking. Rocket's speech recognition software, which leverages Google's Web Speech API, records your voice and grades your pronunciation on a scale from 1 to 100. This tool is both very easy to use and much more accurate than Jumpspeak's speech recognition software since it's backed by Google. It's honestly the most impressive speech tech I've tested out so far. Overall, I have to hand it to Rocket because the immediate feedback they provide after verbal practice exercises is top-notch. I also want to briefly mention that Rocket's technology is constantly being updated and improved. Recently, Rocket updated their mobile app with a redesigned dashboard layout and new favorites feature, so you can save words and phrases by simply clicking a heart icon and improve volume settings. The Rocket mobile app is constantly improving as they are always investing in product improvements to give you the very best and most effective experience. Finally, highlight number 4. I like that Rocket emphasizes direct grammar instruction and cultural highlights. Both the core audio lessons and the supplemental language lessons are full of helpful explanations to help you better understand how to put together sentences and choose between various word endings. Then each lesson wraps up with a short story that emphasizes a cultural point. Jumpspeak doesn't emphasize cultural learning at all, and their approach to grammar is mostly limited to providing feedback on your speech and writing, which is helpful, but not the same as working through targeted grammar lessons. In my opinion, Rocket's combination of solid language instruction and cultural background makes them a good fit for anyone wanting to go deep within a community of native speakers. That pretty much covers what I like about Rocket. So now let's turn to Jumpspeak and the areas where they really shine. First up, Jumpspeak's lessons are much shorter than Rocket's. Again, a typical Rocket audio lesson takes about an hour when you factor in all the exercises and drills at the end. In contrast, the short, fast-moving Jumpspeak lessons only take a few minutes each to work through. They're great for squeezing in a lesson on your lunch break or when you have a few free minutes, and they don't feel as mentally taxing. If you're a busy professional or you're someone who just doesn't have long blocks of time for language learning, Jumpspeak's bite-sized lessons are definitely more approachable. The next advantage for Jumpspeak is their AI tutor. Jumpspeak is all about video chatting with a human-like avatar. Think of it as having your own personal language coach. Once you pick a topic, you start to dialogue with the AI bot, which guides you through practical scenarios such as negotiating a salary increase or talking with your doctor. You can even develop your own scenarios if there's a specific situation you want to practice for, like planning a party or giving advice to a friend. The AI tutor constantly adjusts to your needs, acting as a teacher, guide, or conversation partner, depending on the role you've set for it. In my opinion, the best thing about the Jumpspeak AI tutor is that the voice coach provides real-time feedback on your pronunciation, phrasing, and grammar, which makes it effective for improving your speaking skills. While the AI bot provides suggested responses to keep you from getting stuck, you're always free to answer however you'd like, making the experience feel natural and tailored to your learning style. Jumpspeak's website makes a pretty big claim by saying that 1 million learners have learned to speak confidently in 3 weeks with their AI immersion method. Of course, everyone's going to be speaking at a different level of proficiency, so you might just be capable of beginner conversations up front, but I do think that Jumpspeak is good for boosting your confidence and getting you to where you're actually speaking the language. Overall, I think the AI tool is highly effective because it provides personalized real-time speaking and listening practice in practical everyday scenarios, helping you build fluency through tailored feedback and flexible conversation options. One more advantage I want to briefly mention for Jumpspeak is that they provide access to a private community of like-minded language learners, while Rocket doesn't offer any online community. If you're a social learner or you learn best in groups, Jumpspeak's community feature is definitely helpful for staying accountable, even finding a conversation partner. Finally, and this may be a minor point, I found that the Jumpspeak mobile app really helps me customize my learning experience with intuitive and easy-to-use settings. They've recently updated the app with push notifications, improved speech recognition, and more human-like voices, so I definitely appreciate their overall interface. That about does it for the detail in this review, so let's get to my final verdict. But before I get to that, I should mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we give away a free prep course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter and everyone's eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description for you. It'll take you less than 10 seconds. And hey, you never know, you could win a free Rocket or Jumpspeak course. All right, now back to the verdict. Should you choose Rocket Languages or Jumpspeak? Look, both have their strengths, but I think Rocket is the clear winner here. Sure, Jumpspeak's quick lessons are convenient and their AI conversation feature is cool for building confidence, but the content feels limited after a while. Rocket's interactive audio lessons are simply more comprehensive. Better speech recognition, more variety in drills, and way more thorough grammar instruction. You're not just picking up phrases, you're understanding how the language actually works. Bottom line, if you're serious about language learning, go with Rocket Languages. Jumpspeak is fine for casual learners wanting quick confidence boosts, but Rocket is built for long-term mastery. I'd especially recommend it for audio learners and anyone wanting the most complete package. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, so I do hope you found the video helpful. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment with any questions about either of these apps. Remember to check out our website at testprepinsight.com and the rest of our YouTube channel for more language learning reviews and comparisons. Best of luck, and we'll see you next time.